In this video I will show you how I made this gold-plated quote from Professor Albus Dumbledore on the wall of my magical man cave. Now, gold plating has been around for ages and it's usually just done by painting a sticky glue on something and waiting for it to go tacky and then slapping on some very, very thin sheets of gold just before the glue dries out entirely. Well, we have two problems. The first is that this is lettering and it's going to be required to be read, which sounds obvious, but given that it's going to be a long string of text, every letter E, for example, needs to look the same as the previous E. And I want the letters to look magical too, so I'm going to use a magical font. Now, we would overcome this normally by using a stencil, but then we'd come up against problem number two. The wood on which we're putting this quote isn't really wood, it's actually foam that I've carved and painted to look like weathered wood. As such, it's a little bit bumpy, lumpy, and it would look really messy if I just sprayed on the glue, and even if I used a stencil, it would just look rubbish. So the way I got around this problem was by using my Cricut cutting machine and sheets of adhesive that's basically the same as double-sided sticky tape, but comes in A4 sheets, so quite convenient. Now, I wasn't really sure if this was going to work, so I did a test cut by writing out some Elvish letters and doing a test on a brown leather book that I just had lying about. And it worked, it looks like this. So here's how I did the larger quote on the wall. After cutting the double-sided sticky tape sheet thing and weeding out the letters, I effectively have a number of stickers, and I then put the planks on my radiator just to make sure that the paint on it was totally dry, because otherwise the gold will just stick to the wet paint. Then I just arranged each letter to make up the quote. Once they're all in the right place and they look like this, just kind of white letters on the wood, I just peeled back each letter so that the other side is exposed and so that it just exposes the sticky bit. And so they're effectively just very specifically shaped lumps of glue. And then just take a very thin sheet of gold, lay it on over the top using a brush and brush it like this with a gilding brush. Now, the gilding brush is a little bit abrasive, so you just have to be a little bit careful that you don't scrape the glue back off again. But that way then you can keep the gold off it as well. You just need to repeat this as needed, and when you're finished, just glue the planks to the wall. So let me know what you think below. Like and subscribe. I'll be back next time with some more magical awesomeness, but until next time, as always,
Stay magical.